Okay, so this is our first episode of Bowsome. Let's talk dogs.
Dogs. Yes.
Dogs, because that's why we are all here. That's why we are connected. So I am Richa,
And hi, I'm Ramisha.
and here we're gonna talk about every week we'll come and we'll talk something about dogs. Something that you would like to take back home and you think about it. Or to make your dog's life better. Well, I don't know if it will be better, but
Well, we will try. We will try and tell
yeah,
you everything we know so that it can get better.
yeah,
And today is our first episode. We will be airing this on YouTube, and this will also be available as a podcast for you to listen while you are, pottering around in your house. So these are the two mediums that we currently have, and you can, like every other influencer, and I want to cringe over here and say you can like, subscribe, and share about our channel to everybody so that we
yes,
have more people
yes,
doing the
please
right thing.
do the right thing.
Yes.
Okay, so today's episode is about how to basically adopt a dog. So we're going to talk about what are the steps that you need to take care of when you are planning to adopt a dog.
And may I add that this is going to be breed no bar and age no bar.
Yeah.
So we are not going to be talking about when it is adopting for a particular breed or a dog at a particular age, whether it's a pup, a senior dog. So this is going to be like much like a like a blanket checklist that you will go with when you are thinking of adopting a dog, and everything that goes around it.
Yeah. So quickly I'll tell you what basically you need to take care of. There are a couple of things, there are a couple of steps that you really, really need to take care of. Namisha, when you adopted your first
Zeus.
the
Yes.
the takliya.
Yes. So I've said his name and he's already standing outside, right? Like he's woken up from his nap and he's looking at me like, Bulaya Miko. Yaad kya
Yeah.
mujhe? So Zeus is my first pet. Zeus is an Indie, and he's actually like a mix. He's a cross of a lab and an Indie. And he was born like to a street dog, and it was a litter. And we decided to adopt him from there. And there were a couple of people who were looking after the dogs. There was no formal adoption as such. However, we did have certain things in mind when we decided to adopt a dog. And this comes after, wanting to adopt a dog for like, since I could say the word dog and spell the word dog, I've always wanted one. And so does my brother. Like my brother also always wanted a dog. And I think we went through that entire, cycle of wanting like a ferocious dog, like a Rottweiler or a German Shepherd, because my brother was like, नहीं नहीं मैं लेके जाऊंगा, so मेरे साथ घूमने वाला कुत्ता
लगना
मेरे
चाहिए
जैसा
ना
होना
जैसा
चाहिए,
हीरो निकला है रास्ते में.
हीरो निकला है एकदम करके. We started with that, and I think at around the same time I started reading a lot about breeding and how you have issues with some of these dogs which are inbred, and what basically goes into the market that when you decide to purchase a dog. And somewhere down the line, I think both of us were also like adults, and we decided that no, instead of getting a dog, because our parents put their hands up and said that if you have to get a dog, you have to finance it. And I had just started my job, and I was like, there's no way I can finance and pick up a dog for like 30,000 and 40,000. And I was like, no, we are not doing this. We're going to adopt a dog. And I think that's how the process started. It also started with knowing about what we need to do with if we get a dog home. And this was a lot of internal dialogue that my brother and me had, because there was no one else to like talk to us about this. So whatever little bits of information was available on internet, and some of the friends who had dogs, we collected all of it, and we decided that for our house, because we were very busy, like the four of us, and we are always working and we are always out and about, we decided according to our house and the kind of setting we have, that what age of like the dog should be. Like my brother wanted a more playful dog, and which is why we adopted like a puppy and not a senior dog. Like that was one of the things that we discussed. And the other thing was that my brother had more time because he was still studying. So we decided that in case we have an energetic dog, and the dog needs more play activity, so that's something my brother can contribute.
Yeah.
And when we decided to also get the dog, another conversation that my parents was that you are going to be taking care of the dog entirely yourself. So if he pees or he poops in the house, it's your responsibility. Walks are your responsibility. Food is your responsibility. And it was like a set thing. Like my brother and me decided when we were getting Zeus home, we were having this discussion, and my brother said, "See, mornings I will take him, evenings you take," and it's still the same. We like Zeus still
Two and a
goes
half
for morning
years.
walks with my brother. Sorry.
It's been what, three years now? Zoo is a three.
Yes, almost 3.5 years. And we have like stuck to it. It's not changed. His schedule has not changed. Everything that we spoke about has not changed, and we still like do half and half for everything.
Yeah, so this is exactly what people when people. So I am a adoption coordinator. I do a lot of adoption, and I have adopted, like I have my own 10 dogs. They are adopted, and majority of them are senior dogs. So the reason I prefer to go for senior dogs, because it's just me and my husband in the house, and we both are working. We both have a very very hectic schedules. Um, I prefer to have a senior dog in my house because it's they come trained first. Okay, I don't have to invest my energy on training them for toilet and this that whole pee and poop training. I don't have to invest that energy. Okay, uh,
Correct.
they just come and they fit into that whole puzzle. It of course it is little difficult for them to understand for a couple of days, but then they just fit into it. Like they just move with an ease into our schedule. We can go out, we can leave them for certain hours. Like my personal life, in spite, I'm a rescuer, I'm an adoption coordinator, my entire life revolve around dogs. Okay, but I never felt that in spite of having 10 dogs, my life is restricted. I have friends, I have family, I go and attend functions, I go out for movies before pandemic, dinners. Everything was possible because my dogs were easy to manage. They were adult dogs, they were senior dogs. um the idea of having a dog inside the house is very exciting. Like it's just it's like everybody, some people, when people message me, I want to adopt a dog and I want ASAP, that piss me off. Because I understand. Oh,
ASAP.
yeah, there's somebody who messaged me couple of weeks back that I want to adopt a dog. Tell me the kind of, like, no, I am into this profession. My wife is into this profession, and we want to adopt a dog. But we want to, oh Jesus, we want to adopt a dog by Sunday. And he messaged me on Thursday.
Oh wow, Amazon delivery hai kya Prime ka?
You know, I
By
understand.
Sunday.
I absolutely, and they were newly married couple, so they wanted to have that. Okay, I don't understand. You are married. Focus on yourself, because you are developing a relationship of your own. That itself,
Yeah.
living under a roof with your boyfriend, before a boyfriend, now a husband, itself is a scary thing. I've been through that, so I
Right.
understand. It takes some time, no matter how well you know each other. Now you have to spend 24 hours together, especially in a pandemic
Hmm.
situation,
Hmm.
where everybody is working from home, or they're spending most of their time at home. So now you
Right.
want to add a dog, thinking, oh, this is, we are home and we have time and we can do this. That
Hmm.
whole idea is very interesting. That whole idea is very exciting. But at the same time, once the dog gets inside the house, it does become overwhelming. So there you have to understand, you have to checklist couple of things, tick marna padega wo boxes mein, to understand that this is first, and the most important thing to understand is, like, this is a lifelong commitment. This is
Commitment. Yes.
not about 6 months, this is not about 1 year, this is not about 2 weeks. This is a
Absolutely.
lifetime of commitment. The dog fairly lives, let's say, for on an average, they live for 12, 14 years. We are
Hmm.
asking for a commitment of 12, 14 years.
Yeah. And it's not like a summer hobby that you pick up and then you'll be
Yeah, so
like,
somebody
"Ye ab
last
nahi
year,
hoga."
yeah, somebody last year during the pandemic, they adopted a dog from me, saying we are three brothers and we on paper they were really nice family. They never had dogs. I was like, okay, that's absolutely fine. It's not, it's not a crime to not have a dog.
Hmm.
And if you want to adopt, it's not a crime. Of course, like I, to be very honest, I'll give preference to a first time pet parent more than a parents who already
Season.
had
Yeah.
dogs from generations. But this family, they adopted a dog, saying we are three big boys, above 25 years of age, all three boys. Okay.
Hmm.
And the family, the father was in army, retired retired from army, and the mother
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
housewife. They adopted a dog. He was just 2-year-old dog, a German Shepherd.
Hmm.
Same. We want a
Hmm.
big dog. We want a dog when we walk, people
Hmm.
should watch. Okay.
Yeah.
And they put an effort to come down from one city to my city, take him, drove him
Hmm.
down during the pandemic, everything. But once in January this year, things started opening up. I got a
Yeah.
message. Oh, we didn't realize that the office will open and it will be so difficult to manage.
Wow. Okay.
And what was difficult to manage? Walking the dog, feeding the
Walking
dog.
the dog.
These two things
Yeah.
were difficult to manage. So there you understand, please. That's where people, we always tell that you analyze, you understand this is a lifelong commitment. It is not about अरे 6 महीने कर लिया ना, टाइम पास हो गया ना, मजा आ गई ना, बस.
Hmm.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely wrong.
Yeah. And I remember you always have, said like there are just two things that you have to take care of once you get a dog home. Because this is something I've learned from your Instagram stories. Is that walk your dog and make sure that you are feeding them on time. Like stick to your schedule, and that's all the dog needs and thrives on. Yeah.
See, I have, so I was expecting my child last year. Like I recently
Hmm.
delivered in March. So my son came on 18th of March. But throughout my pregnancy, I was walking my dogs on the same time. They were getting their food on the same time
Hmm.
what they were getting from past 7 years. There was not a
Correct.
single change in their, in their schedule and my schedule. So
Right.
they were never overwhelmed. I was never overwhelmed. I know, like my body works like a clock now. I get up at certain
Hmm.
time because I know I have to walk my dog. That kind of, it's not dedication. It is not something that hobby, and I know it's a dedication. I just hate that word when people put it. Do you call your mother that how dedicated you are that you get up at 6 o'clock to cook tiffin for your children? No,
No.
that's
Yeah.
not, like, nobody say that, right?
Yeah.
To do the same thing for a child, it's absolutely, you normalize it. Okay, because अरे
Hmm.
मम्मी है ना, मम्मी तो सुबह उठ के टिफिन बनाएगी ना. But you put a
Hmm.
little effort. I have seen people writing on Instagram that I put effort for my dog, I do this much for my dog. No, you're not doing anything extra. That's what you
Correct.
should do. You should do. You will do the
Hmm.
same thing for your child also. So let's just normalize this, that when you are getting the dog, you're not doing a favor on the dog. You're not doing a favor on the world. You're not doing a favor on anybody. You're getting the dog. You understand that this is my responsibility. I will treat my dog exactly how I'm going to treat my child. If I am
Right.
committed
Correct.
towards my child, if I'm committed towards my husband or my family,
Hmm.
anybody, I will show the
Hmm.
same kind of commitment towards my dog as well. And here it is not dedication, it is not something that you're doing out of the world. You're doing because you want to do.
You want to. Correct. Correct. I think I like how you are, putting so much of stress on how it's always a choice. Like you are choosing to take care of a dog, you're choosing to get home a dog. And I think, like people, I completely agree with what you said that, sometimes I think it can get overwhelming. But I like the fact that, people want to still like show up every day for the dog, and they don't want to abandon the dog. I think that is also very important.
Yes,
And that, many, when we are buying a car or something, we do not say कि चलो एक हफ्ते के लिए गाड़ी ले ली, we say
exactly.
नहीं, अभी ये 4-5 साल चलाएंगे अभी इसको.
ईएमआई भरनी
So
पड़ती है
I
ना, तो वहाँ पैसा खर्च होता है.
exactly. So this brings me to like one more thing that I wanted to talk to you about, since you are an adoption coordinator. What are the things that that according to you are should be on someone's checklist or bucket list while they are deciding to get a dog? Like, what is it that one needs to go in with?
Okay, so first thing, you should be open about adoption. Really open
Hmm.
about adoption. You should not, having a breed preference is not wrong. It's absolutely,
Yeah, right.
absolutely fine. Okay.
Hmm.
Unless you wait for the right person. Like, you understand that this adoption coordinator, somebody like me who has been working, who has been rehoming dogs from years, have at least some kind of experience in life or with dog, or
Hmm.
people just trust that person to fix you up with the right dog, basically. Just be
Correct.
open for
Hmm.
suggestions. You should be
Okay.
open for suggestion. It has nothing to do with I want to adopt only Labrador. But then if there is an indie, or if there is, let's say, a senior dog who is perfect for your profile, let's say for your
Hmm.
lifestyle, just just be open for it. Okay.
Right.
Second
Right.
thing, when you adopt a dog, when you take the dog home, okay, at least you understand you have to sit down with everybody. I tell this whenever people come to adopt a dog from me after the counseling call. I tell this to everybody, every adopters of mine, that you go back, sit, on your dinner table tonight, discuss this. Who will do what?
Yes. Yeah.
Who is going to take what
Correct.
responsibility?
Hmm.
Are we ready financially? Because if a dog comes, there is a cost of grooming, there is a cost of food, there is a cost of, you have to, every month you have to give at least 5,000, in spare for the medical. Let's say
Yes.
there
Yes.
is any kind of medical emergency. Okay, so you
Absolutely.
keep that. Do you have the bandwidth to take this responsibility mentally, physically, and financially? These three things. See, dog is not a necessity. It is not something that falls
Hmm.
into, necessity wala category. It is a
Hmm.
luxury. And let's just be very honest about it. It is a luxury.
Yes. Absolutely.
You spend Kids are also luxury, I think.
Well, I hope we don't get trolls and flack on this, but they are. They
No,
are.
but then dogs are luxury. They are
Hmm.
something, you spend your time, your money, your energy on them.
Right.
मैंने दूध रोटी खिला दिया, बांध के रख दिया. I'm sorry, if you're going to keep the dog like that, you don't deserve the dog.
Hmm.
We need to understand dogs are social animals. They like
Right.
companionship. They absolutely love companionship. So there is a reason why, there's a saying that dogs are the man's best friend. From ages we listen to this, like until like every time you go on Google, or at least there will be one image. At least there will be one thing. Dogs
Yeah.
are best friends of human. Your dinner table tonight, discuss this. Who will do what?
Yes. Yeah.
Who is going to take what
Correct.
responsibility?
Hmm.
Are we ready financially? Because if a dog comes, there is a cost of grooming, there is a cost of food, there is a cost of, you have to, every month you have to give at least 5,000, in spare for the medical. Let's say
Yes.
there
Yes.
is any kind of medical emergency. Okay, so you
Absolutely.
keep that. Do you have the bandwidth to take this responsibility mentally, physically, and financially? These three things. See, dog is not a necessity. It is not something that falls
Hmm.
into, necessity wala category. It is a luxury.
Hmm.
And let's just be very honest about it. It is a luxury.
Yes. Absolutely.
You spend Kids are also luxury, I think.
Well, I hope we don't get trolls and flack on this, but they are. They
No,
are.
but then dogs are luxury. They are
Hmm.
something, you spend your time, your money, your energy on them.
Right.
मैंने दूध रोटी खिला दिया, बांध के रख दिया, that's, I'm sorry, if you're going to keep the dog like that, you don't deserve the dog. Dogs
Mhm.
are, we need to understand the dogs are social animals. They like
Right.
companionship. You know, they absolutely love companionship. So you, there is a reason why, you know, there's a saying that dogs are the man's best friend. From ages we listen to this, like until like every time you go on Google, or at least there will be one image. At least there will be one thing. Dogs
Yeah.
are best friends of human.
Yes, yes,
Why? There is a
absolutely.
reason, right? Because they are somebody, you know, there are
Right.
things that you cannot talk to your family, but then that emotion that we have for our dogs is absolute. And I can say this because I have my son. He's what, 2.5
Yeah.
months. Okay.
Yes,
I
yes.
have a very different kind of feeling for him. I love my
Hmm.
child, you know, with all my heart, of course. But I love my dogs. I love my dogs
Yes.
way more than, you know, I can imagine.
Hmm.
So you need to understand, like people need to understand, it is not a short term commitment. It is a very, it's a luxury. Can you afford that luxury?
Yeah.
It is exactly like you can go and pick up a wallet from any, you know, even chalta firta ready se bhi you can pick up a wallet. But Fendi ka wallet is a luxury.
Correct,
Everybody
correct,
cannot
correct.
afford a Fendi ka wallet.
Hmm.
Or you
Absolutely.
cannot afford, everybody cannot afford Louis Vuitton.
Correct, correct.
So,
No, and I don't want to like I don't want to do this, but it is such a good example because I think like people would be able to relate with it better. It's very similar to also I think getting home a dog, like you mentioned the finance part of it. It's like earlier what I said, when you get home a car. So when you get home a Fiat, it's a different kind of, expense. But if you get home a BMW, it's going to be
yeah.
a different kind of expense. And that also needs to be something I think that people need to discuss and talk about. Like it could be that, get like you have a Saint Bernard, and I know that you take a lot of care, and there's a lot of expense that goes into just taking care of a larger dog.
Yeah,
And I think that's
like
also
I'll
something
tell you
people need
something.
to quickly.
I get more pissed because recently there's somebody who messaged me that I want to adopt an indie dog. Okay,
Hmm.
and that's what I want to stress upon. That it has nothing to do with the breed of the dog.
Mhm.
Money is required for everybody. Every dog,
Correct.
right? Of course, some dogs need more money, some dogs need less money.
Yeah. Mm.
But it should not be the criteria where this person black, like this person was wrote, I want to adopt an indie dog because, and I said, and I asked this to everybody, why you want to adopt a particular breed? And
Correct.
indie dog
Correct.
is also a breed for me, I'm sorry. Okay, they
Yes,
are
it is.
like, you
It is.
know, the most unique and what most
They have a mind of their own.
I
Yes.
sent a couple of dogs abroad, and then they're like, you know, ये क्या उठ के आए, they're the most unique dog breeds abroad, and people are crazy about Indian dogs, Indian Asian
Yeah.
dogs
Yeah.
basically. Okay, so this I asked why you want to adopt an indie.
Hmm.
So he said because उन पे खर्चा कम होता है,
Ouch. Okay.
कुछ भी खा
Okay.
के रह लेते हैं. मतलब either Indian indie dogs have a horn on their, like extra horn on their head, or two or four tails. No, they are
Hmm.
कुछ भी हो जाता, मतलब कुछ भी कर लेते हैं वो तो, कुछ भी चलेगा उनको तो. क्यों चलेगा कुछ भी उनको? They are dogs, understand, they need food, they need medical attention, they need grooming. उनको भी टिक्स
Hmm.
होंगे, उनको भी कभी तो
Absolutely.
लूज मोशन होगा, उनको भी कभी तो शेडिंग होगा, उनको भी तो तुम दाल चावल खिला के तो नहीं रख सकते ना कुत्ते को. You have to give
Hmm.
food, like, you know, appropriate diet to the dog. So why an
Correct.
Indian
Correct.
dog should suffer just because he's an Indian dog?
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of like missed out on that because I think that is also a very that's also a kind of temperament that people have. They're like, हाँ हाँ ये तो like कुछ भी खा लेंगे, and
Yeah,
इनको ऐसा कुछ particular
people
है नहीं. Correct.
people say, oh, I have a saying with that. Okay, people say,
Hmm.
अरे पर ये तो अभी यहीं पैदा हुए हैं ना. They are born here. They are used to of the climate. Really? You bloody go and sit in Russia. Spend your 2 years there. Will you be okay roaming around without a coat? अरे तुम तो 2 साल से वहीं रह रहे हो ना, तुमको क्या जरूरत है, ठंडी तो तुमको कहाँ लगती है, हीरो हो तुम तो.
Yeah.
There is a very famous saying in Haryanvi boys, डरे हैं जिम करे हैं.
Oh God.
That means डरते थोड़ी है हम, जिम करते हैं हम. तुम भी रह लो, जाओ रशिया में रहो, तुम अलास्का में रहो, बोलना डरे हैं जिम करे हैं. You need like these dogs. First of all, it's a crime to have these dogs. Now they're here, you cannot put them down. That's a bigger crime. So if
Yeah.
you cannot afford your ACs to be on till November, if you cannot afford 15,000 of grooming per month, if you cannot afford 15-20,000 of food, don't keep the dog. As simple as that.
Right. Right.
Again,
Which is
people say,
why I think the whole, being a good fit for the family is something that you stressed
exactly.
about.
It's very, very important.
Yeah.
You take a dog who is the right fit for you. You keep
Mm.
that in mind. That 3 things that needs to be taken care of. Are you prepared mentally to have that dog? Because again, we'll come to this point that once the dog comes inside the house, it is overwhelming. It is, at least
Yes.
for a new pet parent. समझ नहीं
Yes.
आता अरे क्या हो
Absolutely.
गया, you know.
Mm.
So are you physically capable enough to take a dog out for 2 walks, at least 2 walks, long walks?
Mm. Mm.
Are you okay to spend certain amount of money every month on your dog?
Right.
These things are sorted in your head. Go ahead, speak to people who are actually into this. They know what they are doing. At least do a research. आप गाड़ी खरीदने जाते हो जब, तो आप 4 महीना रिसर्च करते हो, bloody on a phone even.
Yes. I agree. I agree.
People research,
Yeah.
अरे इसका तो रैम थोड़ा कम है, अरे इसका तो कैमरा
Mm.
बढ़िया नहीं है. So do the same kind of मेहनत before you go to adopt a dog. Who is the
Mm.
right fit for me? Who will blend
Correct.
into my schedule, effortlessly?
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Speak to
So
people
I
who
want to stress
have
upon it
adopted
again.
dogs.
Yeah, I just wanted to like quickly stress upon what you said because this is like going to be our takeaway from this episode. Is that so according to Richa, these are the things that we have to keep in mind, and I completely agree with it. Having a dog myself, is that you have to be financially independent. You should know whether you can financially take care of the dog. Are you mentally, emotionally, and physically capable of keeping a dog at home? So you cannot like at one point say that I cannot take a dog out for a walk, or I cannot probably look after the dog. So because you are going in for a commitment that's lifelong. So these are the things I think you have to like 4 things that you should be keeping in mind every time you are going into like deciding to adopt a dog.
There are people. These are the slight examples that I'll give you. People, young kids, they are 20, 21
Mm.
years old, 22 years old. They want to have a dog. Absolutely fine. You want to have a dog? Perfect. Go and speak to your family.
Mm.
What if
Right.
you get married 5 years down the line? You change your job and change your city. You move abroad.
Mm.
You went
Mm.
abroad to study. What is going to happen to that dog? Plan
Correct.
your
Correct.
You plan your entire future. When you plan, keep that dog into your plans.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
I cannot agree with this. No. Yes.
there are kids who message me, oh, my family will take care of the dog. You bloody adopted the dog, right? You came to adopt the
Mm.
dog, right? Why are you putting it on your family? Like I'll tell you, there's this one very, very nice family who came to adopt. So the dog who came back, those 3 boys who returned the dog because
Yeah. Yeah.
he walked the dog, right?
Mm.
So he came back to me. um and this is my policy. I do not ask people what is the issue. I tell them, when they adopt the dog, that you return the dog to me, only me. You cannot rehome the dog. You cannot give to your chacha, chachi, kaka, kaki, taya, tayi. No, you have to give the dog back to me at any given
Correct.
point. And I will not ask question, but give the dog back to me exactly the way I gave the dog to you, in the same condition.
Mm.
That kind of commitment, at least I should expect, right?
Yes.
So this dog, he came back. Okay, this very very nice family. So the mother approached me that we want to adopt a dog, and I said, I
Mm.
we want to adopt a puppy. That's how it starts.
Right.
Okay, every conversation starts with this: we want to adopt a puppy. And then I
Puppy.
my normal dialogue is, I don't work with puppies, I work with senior and adult dogs. Would you be interested in
Mm.
adopting an adult dog or a senior dog?
Mm.
They said, how old? That's the very common questions. How old is the dog?
How old?
Between
Mm.
2 to 5 is, that's what
Mm.
I tell people if I have that
Mm.
age group of a dog. And then I send couple of questionnaires: name, age, where do you stay, your marital status, who are in the family, this is your first dog, where the dog will be allowed or not. I send this
Mm.
questionnaire. Why? Because I want to, it gives me a little insight of the family, which dog is right for this family.
Correct. Correct.
Then I asked them to visit the facility, and I was also there. And then they told me that हमको तो कुत्ता नहीं चाहिए था, but my kids are after my life.
Mm.
I was like, okay, fine. Then I spoke to the kids.
Mm.
Your mom is 50, your dad is 50, 60, 55.
Mm.
You have a grandfather who's 90 years old. The kid, the youngest one is in her 12th, and the boy was in is in his he's doing his college. Okay, so they're fairly young
Mm.
kids, below
Mm.
25 years age. Okay.
Mm.
And I made them understand this is exactly, you have to be there. Your parents can spend money on your dog, but then physically and emotionally, you have to do everything for the dog. And if you move out from the house, you have to make arrangements for the dog. Then I told them, you go back home and you discuss who is going to do what. Next day itself, they came back and they said, my son will walk the dog in the morning. My daughter will walk the dog. No, my daughter will walk the dog in the morning. My son will
Mm.
walk the dog in the evening. The lady of the house who approached me, the
Mm.
mother, I will walk him in the afternoon for his pee break. We have, you tell me what to feed him. We have a cook. We will get his food, ready. And I told them I will tell
Mm.
you how to do the meal preparation for 3 days together and all that.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And then I said, what your father's gonna do? They said he's gonna spend money.
That is so sorted.
Like,
No, but I really like how they decided to, chop this down and make it into an contingency plan. Like, ye karna hai hum. Yes.
so they went. So the dog went home, and I actually asked them, you take the dog for fostering. Just one more
Mm.
thing: if you never had a dog, please understand, foster a couple of dogs before, so you'll have an idea what it likes to have a dog inside the house.
Yes. Correct.
Okay, so I send the dog for fostering. I tell them that you keep the dog for 12 days, and then we will see. The dog didn't came back. He had got adopted in January. This is what, June, 6 months.
I'm so happy for the
Immediately
dog.
he fell sick. They called me at
Mm.
4 in the morning. Or he's puking and everything. So I said, okay, let me call my vet. So I called my vet, that you call him, take him to the hospital. So they took him to the hospital at 6 in the morning. And they did
Wow.
everything for this boy. He sorted, even like if he's like he's taken care really well. Everybody in the family is
Mm.
involved with that dog. They know
Correct.
that he's a part of the family. He is not somebody that हमने
Yes.
उठा लिया और इसके ऊपर हमने एहसान किया, नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. So there's one
I
more
I
thing.
I I may get this. Yes.
So there's one more thing. When people adopt a dog, now they think, oh, they did something really nice. Oh, this is such a nice thing that they did. They want a pat from everybody. There are people,
Right.
Nisha, you know that.
Yeah.
Please understand
So,
this, that dog, you got the dog home. There will be, people write on your Facebook or in Instagram, perfect. You're the best. All these nice comments about you. They will put you on a cloud nine. But then suddenly, when you put your phone down, it's you and your dog in that
yeah.
house. His anxiety, her anxiety, your anxiety. So that time,
I,
yeah.
complete.
So there you need to understand that it is not about social media. That will die down in 2 days. And it's only you and your dog.
Yeah, I think this is a very important thing that at the end of the day it just comes to you and your dog. And I really like how you mentioned that it is a part of a family because believe it or not, I want to talk about this. हमारे घर पे जब हम चारों बैठ के बात कर रहे होते हैं, if there's some discussion happening and all four of us are there, Zeus will come and sit right in between of all of us because
Sarpanch
he's like
mein,
पंचायत बैठा है. हाँ मैं सरपंच. I'm decision maker. I will sit in between. And he gets that, like that's the kind of atmosphere. Like if two of us or three of us have decided to like come together and we're sitting together, he will immediately join and he'll be like, कुछ हो रहा है. Like maybe मेरी भी यहाँ पे जरूरत है.
zarurat hai.
And yeah, जरूरत है, like absolutely. And I think like that's something that the dog also adapts to, like to be a part of the family.
Yeah.
And these are also like discussions they'd had. Like one of the things I forgot to mention was when we were adopting a dog before we like got Zeus, there was a very small conversation we had with both our house helps.
Yeah.
And we asked them like, do you like dogs or are you comfortable with them? So our cook was like, if he doesn't jump on me, I'm fine. I'll be okay. And this was something that was very important because I know families जहाँ पे घर पे उनकी कुक आते हैं and then उनको dog को बांध के रखना पड़ता है, and this goes on for so many years. Like यहाँ पे हमारे यहाँ पे तो it's like the opposite, and the minute they both, like when there was lockdown and they both were not coming, they were video calling with us, like हम गए बाजू में, but they video called us and just to like look at Zeus
Yeah,
and be like कैसा है and everything.
you actually put a very, very important point that if you have a permanent house help in your house, ask them, will they be comfortable? And if they're
Yeah.
not, at least work on the dog, train the dog, not to jump on people.
Yes.
Training a
Yes.
dog is very important. It's so important. Like you do not want your kid, right? Like I will slap
Hmm.
my child if he'll go and say, hey, tu kya kar raha hai? Or even slur to people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You will
Correct.
not like it. So why you
Yes.
like it when your dog jumps out? अरे ये तो बहुत friendly है. No, I'm sorry.
No.
Your dog is
Yes.
not disciplined.
Yes. Absolutely.
So work on the dog. Like when you take the dog home, work on the dog. So there are a couple of legs too. We'll, I think we discuss a lot of things. I'm not sure what
Yeah.
we're
Today
going to
we've
pick it up
discussed
from
a lot.
here, but there is a checklist where you have to understand when you adopt a dog, be open to choices, be open to at least options, at least listen to
Options.
people. Yeah, listen to people who are into adoption and doing rescues.
Hmm.
uh, and if they're saying that this is the right dog for you, they might, there has to be some
Could
reason,
be
right,
right.
why they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, we do your research, do your research about the dog, do your research about yourself, do things, what exactly is needed for the dog. If you're adopting a particular dog, be prepared for.
Correct.
Third, have a discussion before even you bring the dog. Everything is sorted, you decided that the dog, have a discussion in your house with every single person, from your house help, from your jhaduwari, from your cook, to your kids, your grandparents, everybody, that we are getting a dog and this is what we're going to do. Who's going to do what? Who's going to take the responsibility? If there's
Right.
someone who's not comfortable in the house, then maybe just I'm not saying drop the idea because my dada is not comfortable. You want to adopt a dog, it's absolutely fine. But at least make sure that your
But
dog,
know that you'll have to work over there in that
yeah,
particular section. Yes.
just make sure that you work on that department. If your dog is jumpy, if the dog is barking so much, I mean, a 90-year-old person will not like somebody who's jumping and it's not his fault. It's not dog's fault. It's your fault that you're not trained your dog. So start working in
Trained.
that department.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Secondly, and the most important thing is whenever you want to adopt a dog and you see a Facebook post or an Instagram post, okay, please read the entire post. That's so important.
Yes.
Every detail is mentioned in the post, majority of all the posts. Just don't
Hmm.
jump. It's a cute beagle and there is a number. Just don't jump and call that person at 2:30 in the night. अरे तेरा कुत्ता चाहिए मुझे. क्योंकि मेरे जैसे को तो बोलोगे तो वो घुस के फोन में कूटेगी.
This has actually happened with Richa, okay, which is why we are saying this.
So there is a, at least have some decency. There is there's an etiquette, right? There's something that we learn in school की manners.
Hmm.
भाई
Hmm.
मतलब उसको ऐसा मिर्ची मसाला डाल के खा नहीं जाने का. लिखा हुआ है कि फोन नहीं करो, डू नॉट कॉल, ब्लडी डू नॉट कॉल.
Yes.
That's so important. There's a number, there's everything written in the post. Drop a message to that person. That person, please understand, everybody, even that person who is into rescue, they have a life beyond dogs. Everybody has
Right.
a life beyond dogs. Their life doesn't involve 24 hours around dogs. They have work, they have personal life, they have kids, they have husband, they have in-laws to attend to. So let's be, little, be nice to each other. You drop a message whenever and drop your details. Just don't drop hi. हमारे hi का मैं क्या करूँगी?
Nah,
Tell me
hello.
about yourself. Tell about yourself. Like who
Yeah.
you are, how, like what age you are. And then if there is something written that the adoption is only for certain cities, there is a reason that person has written why it is only for certain cities. Like I recently posted about a beagle and I clearly wrote that the dog is only be up for adoption in Ahmedabad, Baroda, Bombay, Mumbai.
Hmm.
So this
Hmm.
person is from Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
And he actually called me and he said, I know that you wrote that he's the three cities, but then I'm from Tamil Nadu. I'm okay to pay for the courier charges.
Wow. Okay.
I was like, yeah, sure. I will just, dehydrate that dog, put it in the box, and I will send it to you. That's what you want, right? Courier charges.
सच्ची Amazon Prime लगने लगा है.
हाँ मतलब कुत्ता नहीं हो गया, सॉफ्ट टॉय हो गया. आई हैव मैसेज, डिलीवर करोगे क्या? क्या क्या डिलीवर करोगे? दोगे क्या? क्या क्या? So be little courteous enough, write about yourself, write everything, read. That this is the basics यार. मतलब ये तो बहुत ही basic चीजें हैं. ये तो सबको आनी चाहिए.
Absolutely. I think that this at least I feel like I don't know what the people who are listening to and watching this feel like, but I feel like we've very well covered what it feels like, or what are your things that you have to keep in mind when you're getting home a dog, and the kind of process that one goes through, and keeping in mind everything that we've discussed and the checklist. So if you have, say, any questions, or if you feel like there's something that we missed out, please let us know, and we'll try and
Drop
address
your
it for you.
questions,
And
in the comment box. Drop your question in the
yes,
comment box. We will reply. Or if you
we
have
will.
suggestion about something that you want to listen in the next episode, we will try to cover that episode as well. Here, the
Yes,
reason we want to build this because we want to make this permanent. We want to promote adopt don't shop movement. No, we
not
want
just as a
to
hashtag, but
on it.
really mean it.
Yeah. We just want people to be more aware about things.
Right.
So yeah, this
Absolutely.
is the end of the first episode.
Yes.
It was fun.
And we will see you for the second episode. Hopefully, we have some plans, and we'll also look into what you have said and the considerations. And thank you so much from Richa and me.
Yeah.
We hope to see you again. This is going to be, we're going to try and keep this into a weekly thing so that you also don't like miss us a lot and also don't get bored of seeing us too often. And yeah, we look forward to the next one. And like every other influencer that we know, and the cringe influencers that we both are, please like, comment,
Like,
share, and
comment,
subscribe to
share.
the channel.